I would like to call to order the work session meeting of the City Council of the City of Maplewood, Missouri for Thursday, May 8th, 2025. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Wiley, Councilmember Garcia,
Here.
Councilmember Page,
Here.
Mayor Greenberg,
Here.
Councilmember Maddox,
Here.
Councilmember Falkingham,
Here.
Councilmember Homa,
Here.
Mayor, a quorum is present.
Thank you. This is the third of three sessions, so we'll jump right into fire operations and capital improvement. So I'll go ahead and start. Are there any strategies for reducing overtime?
We're trying. Amber and I and Pete and Brian Wallace and Lexi are going to meet to look at it, to see what we can do. We've just had a bunch of injuries and between deployments for our member that's in the National Guard. We're doing the best we can. We've tried moving people around as far as trying to cover shift and different things, but we have to have the truck staffed. So we're going to look at some other ways to try and get around that for next year.
Yeah, and the changes that we approved with regards to personnel, will those exacerbate those overtime numbers?
As far as the changes for personnel,
I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, that there's more time off for both police and fire.
as far as the PTO that's been
Yeah.
approved, I can't say for certain if it's more time right now, to be honest with you.
Okay, well, I'm seeing that the answer is no. Okay. Okay. I'll let other people ask some questions here. On fire. The laundry expenses, you do your own laundry, but $100, fire equipment is, turnout gear is notoriously difficult to clean.
Yes.
You've got the equipment, but does that cover enough tide to last through a whole year?
That covers it for the most part. That's also an expense that if somebody's uniform is actually covered and needs to be washed, we can wash that in-house. If it has to be sent out to be clean, or if there's something that has to be sent out to be completely disinfected, we can do that. We have equipment to clean the turnout gear. But we leave that in there in case something has to be sent out to be professionally cleaned.
The advertising budget is used for,
Advertising
there's
is,
$3,000 in there.
was that the? We've actually removed. Yes, removed that for PR, correct?
Oh, okay.
Advertising for all job vacancies is being centralized into executive, and then some of those revised guidance categories around public relations, community events, and employee events. Now all departments are consistent. Putting PR giveaway items into advertising previously, that's now in public.
On telephone and telegraph, are we getting a new Morse code key?
I think that's just how it's always been, so that's what it's been called.
And that's radio communications?
That covers the cell phone and the phone service for the elevator, and also the department electronics.
Why is the insurance deductible up so much? Is it just another increase?
That is the $15,000 deductible that we now have for our insurance for any kind of wind, hail, or vehicle damage. That's what our insurance deductible's gone up to.
Okay. For just the fire department?
That's, each department has can have one accident and one accident only. They originally put it for two, to have like $30,000 for deductible. So I've asked everybody to drive carefully and safely and only have one accident and no more.
Okay.
because that's the deductible for one accident.
Okay, so the 15,000 under fire covers the entire city.
No, it covers fire.
Okay, like I said, so there's a $15,000 deductible per department.
Yes,
Okay, okay,
everybody has to be very fair.
gotcha. Okay,
Budgeted one deductible payment per department, my understanding.
okay. No, it looks good. Your budget looks great. Nothing jumps out at me.
And the $65,000 for training, is that part of the joint?
Yes, so that covers the joint training, covers part of the salary, and for the cost to be a part of that, also covers professional development classes for our members and outside training with that also. That also covers part of the software that we're required to have, CPR cards for community CPR, first aid cards, and I believe that's the majority of what's in training.
Okay. What other questions do we have for the fire department? I don't hear any, so,
Would you like to look at the capital?
yes, please.
It's all pretty straightforward in fire for cap improvement, so there's nothing, no ATVs or motorboats or,
Okay for now.
Would fire be using, if police get a drone, would fire be using that also?
Probably, we haven't quite discussed what that plan would be, potentially. Yes, we have drones that we use now that we can call, that our fire departments have, that are set up specifically for fire department operations, but it's not out of the question for us to use it.
Do you see any new technology coming down the road that would help save lives?
Yes. Is it on the forefront for us right now? No, but potentially yes. Stuff with the radios being integrated into the SCBA's that we use, the packs that we wear inside. There's Bluetooth technology they're talking about there. There is technology to go into the SCBA so they can see where we are in the building, how much air we have. They can send alerts to us. Images can come across our masks. So there's plenty of technology out there. Then there's software, integrates to the truck. The trucks can be repeaters for radios. All that is on the forefront. It's brand new and still being tested. But there are some nice things out there that we potentially could look at in the future.
Are we setting aside any kind of resources to do some evaluation with the ECDC and how the dispatch works for the fire department, or is that not in our budget?
It is not in our budget. ECDC is setting aside $50,000 to bring in a consultant to evaluate the efficacy of their operations and their CAD system. That's in the budget starting July 1. That's expected to take about 2 months, I think, for that assessment. We hope to have some action steps for ECDC to take by October.
Okay,
That's-
thanks. Yeah, I know that's a pain point with fire dispatch.
Yeah, absolutely. The dispatching costs, though, that you saw in the operations budget are fairly budget neutral from last year to this year. We included the updated spreadsheet. I think it's 0.03% increase. Overall, our numbers haven't shifted considerably. Among the capital items for fire, the one that's excluded is one that we determined that we would push forward to the next fiscal year. So we were just looking for opportunities to defer wherever possible, and that water rescue equipment was one that we determined we could wait until the next fiscal year.
looks good.
Okay. No further questions? Okay.
Yeah.
We can-
Just quickly, before we move on to police, the price that you see there in the capital budget for the Central Core Fire Training Tower, the draft packet that you just got has approvals for those contracts. We had expected to spend more money in this fiscal year for that project. It's all been shifted entirely into FY '26. So you'll be approving and looking at that budget at the meeting on Tuesday. But this reflects what you're going to be approving.
Okay. Then let's move on to police.
You want to start with capital? All right, we'll start with capital.
Okay.
What's a police vehicle uplift?
That's the,
More stuff inside?
yeah, that's putting the lights and sirens and all the computer equipment. That price is doubled over the years. Our current installer gives us a very, very good price, the best in the region. There's potentially he's gonna retire this year, so we have to start, and everything we've looked at is going to double. So these are probably the last vehicles he's gonna do right now. So we were fortunate enough to get them in this year, but moving forward, it looks like it's gonna double, so that equipment costs a lot to put in and install.
Do you have to uplift the vehicles once we get them from Enterprise?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So
That's
they give you the standard police
Correct.
cruiser, and then you put all the.
correct.
you need.
And when the model years change, and the equipment for that doesn't fit it, so that's the challenge.
Right,
So,
okay. Cool. No, it looks good.
and then we cut our tasers in half. That's a lease that we do now. It's very, very expensive, and based on our de-escalation techniques, I'll say it, that is less than 5 deployments a year, so we have cut that in half. Each officer will still have one, but they'll be sharing it on shifts now, so that was a very costly lease, 5-year lease. But it is necessary to have the non-lethal on-unit person, so. I'm sorry? Yes, we feel that 15 tasers will be sufficient for our agency. And so in the past, we had 30 tasers, so we're gonna cut that to 15 based on the deployments. But every officer will have it every shift, so we won't have a shortage of that. They just won't be able to bring them home. They'll be left here at the station.
Looks good to me.
Operations?
The Motorola radio lease. I don't know how many alternatives there are to, you know,
I wish there was, and I know the police chiefs have, Motorola does have a market on that, and with their agreement with St. Louis County EOC, I wish there was opportunities. Right now, we have 20 portable radios. In the future, we'll have to look at the radios in the vehicles. We're fortunate right now, but this is a 10-year lease, as you see the price for the radios for 10 years each year, so it's another costly expense for public safety.
since they're the same manufacturer, you can coordinate with other departments?
Yes, so in fact, other departments are now moving to the new radios because they're older radios that council approved 2 years ago for the newer release. They're having to reach out to us because we have those older radios that we can't utilize them, so they're having to use our radios, our old radios for parts. But most agencies are going to the newer radios that we've had in place for 2 years, which we got the best price on, so the right decision was made at that time.
And was there a question about the suit of armor?
Red man suit.
I just want to
think it's
know
great.
if we can,
I just want to see Chief Nyber
fundraise.
in
Yeah, no.
have fun with that.
We have changed our defensive tactics. And with this to more ground techniques, has been more efficient from the old ways, and this is to protect those instructors. We have several instructors, including 2 female officers now who are now defensive tactics instructors, so this will protect those that, for teaching the class from any injury, so it's an important item to keep everyone safe.
And that's being paid with,
Yes, asset forfeiture funds, when we has one detached to a drug task force, we had some funds that were remaining from the federal government at that time, so. Yep.
You explained it very well the other night when I said, like, it's a red band suit, I'm not really sure that's what it looks like.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else on capital? Then we'll move on to line items on the operating budget. Amber explained the care and subsistence line items, so I don't have any questions about those. Just, we need to probably label those a little bit differently. With regards to Regis, what are we using them for?
That is for your computer inquiries. Anytime an officer utilizes, when they conduct inquiries on a license plate or a vehicle or a person, that is the services that Regis requires, or to use their services for that.
What line item are the flock cameras included in?
Professional, I think that's Amber. Professional services.
Okay.
And these have been very, very efficient and effective all around, not only in Maplewood, but all around the regions. So these have been extremely beneficial around the state. So we have solved many investigations with the assistance of these cameras.
Last time I was at Walmart, you apprehended a kidnapping suspect
So,
based on recognition,
Yes.
by the camera, so that's well worth it.
Can you just shed some light on how Social Security spiked up so much? Is that just a reallocation from a different bucket to be more accurate? Because usually that's whenever something spikes up, that's why.
That is a calculation that's done in the system, so I will double check that number.
This is our largest department.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it may be just because we do have people that went up on steps, so we have we have several newer officers, so they would go up in a step. We probably have
I'm with you.
4 or 5 new officers. So they would all go up a step, so that would increase their pay, which would make the Social Security go up. So
100%.
that may
Alright.
be it, but I can double check that just to make sure that there isn't anything else that's
Yeah.
causing a weird calculation there. I'll
Cool,
double check.
thank you.
Are there other questions in the operational budget for police?
looks good. It's quiet.
In that case, I think we've completed this in record time. And that's obviously due to the fact that the budget's well put together and presented, so we appreciate that.
Yeah, that's huge. Going through 100 pages on the old paper was absolute nightmare.
We agree.
Yes. Oh, it's awful. No, we're on page 67.
Yeah, but when they buy 3 extra pencils, we'll never know.
I really think what's great about this software is you can really see the capital items that they're actually purchasing. So when, like, for me, when Public Works would say, oh, we're buying a whatever kind of a scrubber, I didn't know what it was, so I'm like, I don't know what that is, but now they put a picture of it, so now you know what that is, rather than being like, so it's like for an indoor scrubber or like a street scrub? I mean, you have no, unless you know what it is, you
Right.
have no idea. So I think that's helpful to kind of have a better understanding of what some of the items are that all the departments are trying to buy. And then with the detail that they can put into the budget that it's really easy to see, like, how much every individual item costs, and that really helps you see that all the departments have put a lot of work into their budget, so they aren't just throwing numbers out, it's like, I don't know about this much and about that much. They're really putting a lot of work into that, and you can see the work that they put in, and I think that's really important to see, that they put that work into that budget, and that they're really thinking about their numbers and thinking about what they absolutely need to spend to be able to run their departments well.
I think I feel like since you've been here, you've been realigning things within the budget, and it seems to make this get shorter every year, because it's like, okay, that's all lined up, and it makes sense, and it's easy for, an outside dummy to look at it and make it make sense, so I think that's been really helpful. I feel like there's less of those now than there has been, so.
I'm glad you feel
I
that
know
way,
it's a lot of work.
because I have more for next year too.
Oh, boy.
We know it's a lot of work, but also it saves so much time, because it's not like row item number 17, this is actually these 5 things. It's just, this is the one. So it's greatly appreciated.
One question I forgot. The shooting simulator, situation simulator, is that still located in Webster?
Yes, that is. And, but St. Louis County will be, as you probably read in the news, have a new training facility down the road, which will have even more advanced simulators. So we'll still evaluate our relationship. There's no cost this year associated with it, but down the road, the technology is from what we have right now, is gone and improved. You know, a lot of VR matters now, so.
As far as shooting range, what facility?
So we still use a outdoor range in West County, and we are gonna meet with the O'Fallon Police Department, just built a new firing range there as well, so we have an opportunity, and I know the chief there, and we know the training coordinators that will assist us with that, so those will be the 2 facilities this year.
Okay. That's all the questions I have. It doesn't sound like there's any further questions.
Then I will let you know that draft 2 of the budget will come to you in the packet for next Tuesday's work session meeting. We hope to get it to you by Monday afternoon, might be Tuesday morning, but you'll be able to see in real time as we're working through and making updates. Lexi and I have about 3 hours set aside tomorrow morning to implement and update the changes that you've recommended through these 3 work sessions. So you'll have a new packet to discuss at the work session next Tuesday.
Fortunately, you won't have a whole lot of changes to make, so thank you for your work. And at this point in time, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved?
Second?
We have motion, a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The work session is complete. Thank you.